Hello, thank you for joining me. Well, today I'm out with the XP Deus 1 with the 9-inch HF round coil. So let's get out into the field, perhaps dig a few targets and have a talk about taking this machine to the next level. Okay, let's settle into our detecting, get into the zone and just let our minds wander. Perhaps not too far, but if your mind's anything like mine, it's so small it shouldn't really be out on its own, if you know what I'm saying. And as usual, there'll be no adverts on my video for the first week, so those of you who subscribed can watch it advert free, which is always a bonus, isn't it? So maybe a good idea to subscribe there. And anything I find is purely for demonstration purposes. I can't guarantee we're going to find treasure. Let's just have a walk along with this Deus 1 and let you just hear what the ground feedback's like and just have a sort of listen to what I'm dealing with here. As you can hear there, the iron tone is doing its job very, very well. And what I like about this full tone audio is, I don't know, it's the anticipation when that high tone just jumps out of nowhere and stops you dead in your tracks. There's always something to investigate with the full tone audio. Now the two programs I use mostly with the Deus 1 is the sonar program and variations of the hot program. Now the hot program was my original idea all those years ago, and then they put it onto the Deus 1 as a factory default, which I appreciate very much. Thank you guys at XP. But sometimes you just want to take it to the next level just on a certain site. And that's kind of what I've done today. What do you think to that XY? Pretty good, isn't it? Trying to dig the holes as neatly as possible, but it's so difficult on this ground because it just crumbles, and it's also quite sticky. Okay, right. Can't argue with that. And that's what it is, look. We have a very small, well, it's a Roman coin. I'm sure it's a Roman coin. Let me just clean it up a little bit. Yep, I'm pretty sure that is. I've got some pretty neat settings with this Deus 1 actually. They're a little bit technical, but I'll go through them with you at the end of the video. So I've just sweetened it up a little bit for this ground because this ground's quite iron contaminated. It's very wet on the surface and I want to use a higher frequency. So all those sort of things kind of fight against each other. So I've combated that with a few simple settings, but we'll go over that in a little while. I wonder if that's something really small. I think it might be pinpoint time now. Yeah, still getting a bit of a shake from it. Oh, yeah, you probably noticed there when I turned my MI6 on, I got a lot of EMI from the frequency I'm using. Obviously, I haven't got it connected wirelessly to my speaker, so I just use the speaker in the MI6. So here's how to combat the EMI from the MI6. So let me turn it on. You can hear it there. All we do now, look at that screen, it's going nuts. And you'll get that from another detector as well, so just listen out for that one. Menu, frequency, expert, minus, just shift it to one side, different sort of EMI. That's pretty good, 28.070. So just remember that one if you're getting EMI with another detector or your MI6 pinpointer. Look at that, a perfect straight line coming up at 83, 84. That's almost a textbook signal, isn't it? A textbook target ID reading too. Yay! Somewhere in there. Okay, the big reveal. Is it round? No, I don't feel round. Still in there. It is round, look. It's another little Roman coin. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Low conductor, mid conductor, yet 63. Quite a low sound though, isn't it? Excuse the state of my screen here, it's quite scratched, but did you know XP supply a brand new screen along with the buttons? So if your Deus one does look a bit grubby, you can always get that changed. Okay, here we go. Another reasonably shallow target. Because we're on an ancient site, we're not really going to get great depths. So you just got to really accept that. Tiny little thin Roman coin, look. There it is. I'm assuming it's a Roman coin. Wafer thin, look at that. Yeah, I think that's one of the big mistakes a lot of people make. If they're looking for coins, they tend to think the coins will come up in the higher number range. And I suppose that's true if you're looking for big silver and things like that. But here in the UK, we tend to dig everything, high and low numbers, high and low tones, because our coins throughout the ages fall in so many different bands. So the only thing we really want to ignore is iron. That is a really nice one. Look how straight that XY is. No doubt about that one. Yes. Come on. Oh yes, I can see it's round, it's round, it's round. That looks to me like a really nice Roman coin. Yeah, I think, look at that. That's a beaut. That really is a beaut. Unbelievable. Wow. Thank you, treasure gods. Look at that. Brilliant. So what are these XP Deus 1 secret settings? Well, the observant amongst you will have probably seen on the screen that it's something to do with the deep program. So let's have a little talk about the program I've been using today and why I've been using it. Okay, let's go to my secret settings. What have I done and why have I done it? So traditionally, the hot program is on program number 9. That's the default hot program. But we all know that program number 6 deep is got the earlier version filters. So it's a little bit more snappy, a little bit more choppy. So let me put the hot program into this deep setting, -6.4. That's good. Go down, full tones, missed it, idiot. There you go. sensitivity 94, frequency. Now because I'm using the white HF coil, I want to be using a higher frequency, but let's just go up one to 31.3, but we'll change that in a minute. Iron volume 0, you don't need an iron volume with the full tones because it's already got one. Reactivity 3, audio response on, and that's perfect. So this is my hot program in the deep program. Now have a look to see what happens. It's a little bit bonkers, isn't it? It's a bit jingly, and that's not the reactivity, that is the frequency. Now if I go up one more on the frequency, I'll probably enhance that a little bit. 54. So you can hear those high spikes. Now my idea here was I still want to use the higher frequency, but I don't want to hear all this jingling in the background. I want the machine running as smoothly as possible so I can hear those little targets. So I've gone down to discrimination and -6.4. I've just raised it up to about 3. Now all this 0 to -6.4 is the ground sound. So that jingling is the ground. So now I've eliminated the ground and some of the iron. Right, here we go. Discrimination 3. Can you hear now? I've cut out not all the ground, but enough to make it so I can comfortably hear those tiny little signals. So that's what I've done to make the difference there. And also you saw earlier on, I just shifted that frequency a couple of notches to quieten my MI6 down. So what we can do here is just go into programs, save. You see there's sonar. We can call this one Hot 2. There you go, and just validate it. And that's my Hot 2 program with a slightly higher discrimination, just enough to knock out the ground. That's my secret setting. Thanks for watching, bye for now.